What's up, everybody, and welcome to the newest edition of the Bronx Muchachos podcast. I'm your host, Mark, and tonight we got Danny.
What's good, everybody?
And we got David.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back.
All right, everybody, you know the drill. Please remember to subscribe, rate, review, like, all that good stuff on Apple Podcasts. And also, if you can't get there, listen to where. Also, we'd love it when you listen to any other podcast platforms for us. Give a little love to some of our sponsors. If you look on our link tree, our link tree is linktree/Real Bronx Muchachos. So, boys, I can't even get into this thing, man. I mean, we make all the deals, and all of a sudden, they've come out flat. They've come out flat is the best way to put it. Cardinals, M's. I figured we had to go 2 out of 3 against them, and win 2 out of 3, and each one didn't happen. So, Danny, what's going on with both those series?
Well, base running has a lot to do with it. We saw that in what was it, game 2 of that series against Seattle, where we gave 4 outs in the base pass, which is ridiculous. In St. Louis, there was a couple of miscues there as well, but it's a mixture of no timely hitting, and our bullpen absolutely being atrocious. Not keeping us in games, not holding leads. We could have won two of these games extra. So we could have gotten out of there 3-3 from these series, from these past 6 games. But Clay Holmes blew a game in St. Louis. We won 1 game, outright. And then Albert Abreu decided to come in, and even though he's been lights out relatively recently, decided to throw a changeup right down the middle to Carlos Santana. Yeah, that was a great idea. Great pitch selection. Hit you behind the plate, give him the 4 wiggles. Not shake that off, Albert. What are you doing, bro? The dude's been late on a fastball, and the entire at bat decided to throw him a changeup right down. I want to say something else. Right down the middle. And what do you expect? A 3-1 lead gets evaporated quickly, and it's a 4-3 win for the M's in that final game. And just like the bow on top, the cherry on top for this miserable road trip. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what to say.
What about you? What about you, Dave? What do you want to add to this whole?
Thankfully for me and my mental health, I've been traveling for work, so I really haven't been able to see much what's been going on. I caught a little bit of the Cardinals series, caught a little bit of yesterday's game, but yeah, man, like this base running thing ridiculous. The other day they had like 3 base running errors with stealing bases, or I don't know what they were hit and run on at one point, I think. This team since June 23rd is 19-23. Like, they've just been playing flat baseball. It doesn't help when you got a lot of your bullpen blowing their elbows out and getting freak injuries. Now you got Matt Carpenter banging a ball off his foot and fracturing it. And then you got the whole bullpen just completely melting down. Losing Michael King has been huge blow to this bullpen, man. And now you got Clay Holmes not being able to figure it out. Wandy Peralta's getting knocked around every now and again. The only one really pitching well the bullpen right now, I hate to say it, is Aroldis Chapman. He hasn't given up a run, I think 7 innings the last time I checked. I think going forward, I think Ron Marinaccio needs to be up here. Clark Schmidt needs to be up here. And I even go a step further and say that Clark Schmidt probably needs to be in the rotation. Domingo Germán gets sent to the bullpen. I mean, I think they're doing Domingo a disservice with putting him back in the starting rotation when he's coming off of an injury, and he really realistically hasn't pitched in almost 2 years, going between the suspension and then coming back from the suspension and getting hurt. So I don't know what they're going to do, but this cannot continue. This media, I just feel like I'm watching the 2021 version of this team again, and it's absolutely infuriating. Like, where's this team from the first half of the season that was just mowing opponents down? Now it's the other way around. Since they traded Joey Gallo, they're 0-5. Dodgers are 5-0 since they got him. So I don't know if you want to call it the curse of Joe Gallo. I don't know. It's aggravating.
I don't
Hey,
wanna go
just
that
hearing
far.
Realistically,
yeah,
aggravating.
just hearing his name. So I've been making this analogy on Twitter. Joey Gallo's like that toxic ex that treats you terrible, right? And then goes to the next guy and then treats them great. And you're like, where was this? Like, why are you treating me like that? And then go to the next person and be like your best self. Like, what is? I hate Joey Gallo. Let's just. I don't even want to talk about him. Well,
That whole that
I'm
that, that
not
ship
talking. I'm
sailed.
just saying. I'm just pointing out a fact. That this team is 0-5 since they traded him. That's all I'm saying.
Since August.
That's all I'm gonna
2nd.
say.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, so
But this needs to end. This cannot continue. I mean, they got. Anyway, I got it out of my system. Let's move on.
I'll say that I'm going to agree with you. Marinaccio being in AAA right now is preposterous. I don't they made that move, I guess for 20 minutes, 26-man roster implications, but he was one of the better pitchers, and they left up guys like Licky, and they left up like you said, Wandy, and a handful of other guys, Albert Abreu, who's been a straight dumpster fire and can't find the strike zone, can't do anything, can't figure out how to pitch. It's like he's pitching with Texas again in Kansas City. Like he seems like he's just reverted back to those.
Bro, when he threw that pitch to Santana, before Santana even swung the bat, I was like, that ball's gone. And then ping, gone. I was like,
there's some players that you there's some players that it's gonna happen, and it feels like Abreu was one of those guys like Steve Shreve, like a few years ago when he was I was sitting against Rays and Yankees, and I was watching the game. They were in extra innings. Just watched some warm up. Said, "Oh, they're gonna lose. He's gonna give it up," and sure enough, he gave it up. But on top of that, Clark Schmidt is pitching a hell of a game going on right now. For everyone who's listening, it's Thursday night. Clark Schmidt, I think he's gone, 5 innings or 6 innings, 11 Ks. Yeah, there you go. 11 Ks. Last I saw was 11 Ks. I mean,
put him in the rotation. What do you got to lose at this point?
That's what I'm saying.
What do you got to lose?
I'm with you on that. Put him in the rotation. Let him ride. If just at this point, the worst guy in the rotation gets moved out back to the bullpen. I don't care if it's Tyone. I don't care if it's Montas right now. I don't care. One of them's got to go because it's got to be between Herman and Tyone, who's going to be in the bullpen. One of the two of them's got to. I know it's going to be Herman, but something like I said, something's got to give. And let's look at a bigger picture of. I want to look at a different part of the picture too, because there's a few different things that are going on with the team, which is I think also why they're slumping. You got we have an older team again. You have Rizzo, who's just turned 33,
I believe.
Yeah, Rizzo's 33. You got JD, who's 37.
34.
DJ's 34. Stanton's going to be 34 this year. Judge is in his 30, going to be 31 or something like that. Hicks is 33, going to be 34. I mean, there is a lot of players that are on the wrong side of 30 on this team. So why continually run out these? Well, Cole's 30. Cole's 32. And we're entering the end of prime Cole. So we have
Stan's 32.
I thought he was 33.
Birthday's in November. He'll be 33 in November.
Gotcha. So these are what I'm saying is we need to start addressing the fact that the team needs to get younger as well. And while we're going for the championship right this year, we do need to start bringing young blood in there. With the way we beat this drum before, the way that IKF's been playing. Hey, push him to the side. Bring up Peraza. I mean, at this point, bring up Peraza. Let him play, or move IKF. Or JD Josh Johnson's playing a really good third base, but and his bat's beginning to come around. But man, it's taken some time. Aaron Hicks is an albatross out there. His contract is not an albatross anymore at $10 million a year, but he's just become an albatross any which way, shape, and form. What's going on, Alex? Coming in.
Hi, Alex.
Hey, man, but even Bennett,
I got parties.
Even Benintendi's hasn't lived up to what he's been playing, how he's been playing all season long. You know,
Well, I think with Benintendi too,
it's just
think with
everything's coming
Benintendi,
at the wrong time.
I think with Benintendi, you go from playing in an atmosphere like Kansas City all year to all of a sudden you're in a playoff race like that. And I'm not making excuses for him, but I think that might have I think the transition for him was a little bit difficult.
Why he played for Boston? Yeah, he played for Boston and won a World Series.
Boston's a different animal than New York, man.
Oh yeah,
he started I'm sorry. 20,
I'm sorry that he's used to just drinking Sam Adams all day long. Sorry.
What I'm saying is there really isn't that much. There isn't that historic history of winning 27 championships to live up to in Boston like there is in New York. That's what I'm trying to say.
All right. After his 1 for 20 start, he's 6 for 20. So I'm not sure what that is in terms of average. Let me look it up
Probably
right
like
now.
$1 something.
That's 300. He's hitting 300 since he started off 1 for 20, right? And he's got a couple big RBIs in there. So he's getting on base. The strikeouts are a little bit concerning because he's striking out probably a little bit more than I anticipated. But I'm cool with what Andrew's doing. Our problem is the bullpen. I have a question for you guys. Over the last 30 games, over the last month, who's leading the league in bullpen losses?
Probably.
Yeah. Yankees are 4-11 from the bullpen. That's leading by 3 games in all of baseball. They have 4 blown saves, right? 5 holds and 4 saves. Their ERA is almost a full run higher than what their season average is. Their season average right now is 2.98. Over the past 30 days, it's 3.70. Who's leading the league in wild pitches from the bullpen? Wild guess.
Us.
The Yankees, all right? The Yankees bullpen, all right, in the past month, 8 wild pitches. That's a big number, right? 97 innings pitched, 93 Ks, which is not like our bullpen. We have power arms in there. The ground ball rate has gone down. It was season average is 44%. The past 30 games, 40%. Okay, so less ground balls, more homers. They've given up 10 homers in 97 innings. Okay, so the big problem right now that we need to fix is the bullpen. And Mike King, losing him was such a huge blow. So, Mike King in these games versus an Albert Abreu versus anybody else, Mike King is literally having the 3rd best season reliever-wise in 2022.
But we
Edwin
have
Diaz is number 1, and Helsley is number 2.
But we have one of our better guy who's been performing, Ron Marinaccio. He's down in the minors right now because they want to make these. They want to be smart and make these moves. Oh, we can do this and put him down there. He's been pitching well, and he's been pitching in high leverage situations. Get him back up and get rid of somebody else. I don't care. Get rid of Abreu.
That's who you got to get rid of. That's exactly what I was going to say because that's who you got to get rid of. Because I'm sorry to say it, ever since he came back, I've been on you guys have all been against me. Like, oh no, he's good. But what I saw was like, I don't see that he has what it takes to be a Yankee. And from like his attitude, his little that Chapman smirk that he has and all that kind of stuff. I'm sorry. He doesn't have, in my opinion, what it takes to be a real Yankee. Like Mariachi or however he's Karate Kid, like I used to call him, because we all know I like calling him the Karate Kid because of his name. Like I would rather have the Karate Kid up there doing some wax on, wax off than having a guy doing a cheeky smile for no reason, because like that just infuriates me, especially when he does something bad.
Albert Abreu should be a B reliever. You know, Aaron Boone has his A guys and his B guys. That's where
he's
Albert
a
Abreu should
guy.
be. He should not be in any type of. He should not be in any type of high leverage situations, because the last 3 or 4 situations he's been in, it hasn't been good. He hasn't produced. He flat out. And Alex, you know I'm always protecting guys that need to be protected. But
you're always protecting the pitchers. That's who you're protecting usually. You got a thing for the heart for the pitchers. I know that.
Right. But there comes a point in time where, you got to step up. It's getting to September. It's August. And his overall numbers are very good. But just the last 4 or 5 outings have just been atrocious.
100%. And like, okay, so what got it to me with Abreu from when he first came up is like, we were on that hot streak when he came up out of the injury and everything like that. And it's like, okay, cool. Everyone's beating him like, oh yeah, and then I'm looking at him like, bro, he's making mistakes. I understand he just came back, but we're right now in the heat of our moment of our hot streak. And this guy's coming in there and he's like, it's like a cog in our gears. It's like, man, you're just breaking what's going on. And it's like, I don't know if it's the attitude or what, but something's going on about that guy that's like poison just came to that bullpen out of nowhere. And it's like, wow.
Well, it goes back to the whole Mike.
I will go that far.
It goes back to not having Mike King. I mean, realistically, beginning of the year, how many games would we have lost if Mike King wasn't coming in and saving everybody? I mean,
too many.
I would run on fingers and toes for how many times he had to bail out Chad Green, how many times he had to bail out Chapman, or anybody else down there.
If it wasn't for him, we'll still be thinking Chapman's our closer.
Well, yeah. And another guy that gets a lot of the blame is Clay Holmes. Over the last month, he has a 9.64 ERA. 9.64. This dude didn't give up a run. He didn't give up a run for 30 plus innings for 30 games. And
the league has either figured him out or
a lot of it could also be just the usage rates. I mean, they've been using these guys a lot. I mean, bullpens are very finicky at everyone knows that a bullpen is finicky. Mm-hmm. So right now they're going through their lulls, but it's also the fact that they've now been used a lot this past season. I'm trying to pull up some of the numbers for them, how their usage right now. But
what do you think's going to happen when you don't have a starting pitcher going 7 innings every you did in the first half of the season? That's the problem.
Don't forget during May they had all those guys going 7, 8. Some of them were going 9 innings. So I mean, it goes along those lines. I mean, Clay Holmes has pitched in 48 games. Wandy Peralta's been in 42. Licky's been in 35. Chapman's been in 32. You got Castro was at 32 games. Loizaga was been 29 games, and he was in. He has had some injury. Marnacho was in 23 games, pitched for 26.2 innings. Abreu's been 18 games, 21 innings, and 21, and in 21 innings he's got 21 hits. So, I mean, there's things that have to be kind of they got to fix some of these things that are going on here.
So in terms of usage compared to the rest of the league, Clay Holmes has gone to the most games for us, and that ranks 17th in all of baseball, and he's gone in 48 times. And so the usage has not been overwhelming for these guys for relievers. Boone doesn't use it on back-to-back days. I mean, on 3 straight days. He doesn't go 3 out of 4. So right now the excuse is there shouldn't be an excuse. Clay Holmes finally had a good inning the other day. Finally. In that last game, in game 2 against Seattle. But that's like a month in the making. His sinker does not have the same type of movement on it. He doesn't have the same type of command with this stuff. So Clay Holmes needs to get back on track. And the fact that Chapman's finally turning into form is a good thing, but honestly, we're all just waiting for the other shoe to drop for him to lose his confidence again. Because it's all it's going to take was one outing, right, where he gets shellacked, and then next thing you know, Chapman can't find the plate. So we just need everybody to get hot at the same time, and it's been hard to find. It's been hard pressed this past month.
How do we feel about Montas's first start?
Pass. I'll give him a pass. His mother-in-law died.
Yeah.
He hadn't pitched in like 2 weeks.
Like I'm saying a thumb down and everything like that, but the thumb down is really just like because whatever. I'm not gonna really like put anything on him right now.
let's talk after his third.
And
After
then you lose to.
let's talk after his third start. I would say, because I
Hopefully,
mean,
in the week that I said that we're gonna get hot.
I hope so.
And then you lose to
right
Jordan
now
Montgomery 1-0
after
St. Louis.
I was listening to the pod today from that episode. We said the exact same thing, but for St. Louis. That's crazy, yo. We're like,
Yeah.
oh, we're gonna lose 1-0, and then we're
Yeah,
gonna win.
and look what
1-0
happened.
because-
We did.
Yeah. Shit. Sheesh,
Like-
man.
He goes to another team and he still can't get run support. So it's like,
no, he did get run. He
Poor
got
guy.
one run.
That's all he needed.
He got enough support against us that day.
I think it was only one game this year where we got like 5 or 6 runs in support.
It's
that one game.
ridiculous.
he's had once or twice. He's had it. There was one game against Baltimore where he crapped the bed when we gave him run
That's
support.
yeah.
I'm like,
But-
I'm just like this past 2 series that just shocked me a lot because I legitimately thought that we were gonna do at least out of those 2 series, we would have won at least one of those 2 series. I was iffy on the Mariners one. I was always iffy on the Mariners one. Like Dave has got me into the whole like, yep, watch out for the Mariners, watch out for the Mariners. But that first series, I thought we were going to take it, and like we didn't take it. And I was like, what the F is going on?
We weren't out of the Mariners series at all. I mean, we won the first one.
We weren't. No, we weren't.
And
You're right.
and it was a pitchers. Castillo and Cole went toe to toe, and
Okay.
Cole was shoving, and you can't go losing 1-0 is not that was blunders on the base paths that screwed us up. And then
So
then you had a
Katie
bullpen.
Sharp So Katie Sharp
Mhm.
put a good stat out the other day on Twitter. In games decided by one run this season, we were 14-4 through June 18th. Since June 19th, the team is 7-13 by one run. One. You're not gonna win a World Series doing that, man. I'm telling you, you're not gonna beat, whoever you face in the first round. You're not gonna beat the Astros in the ALCS, and good luck beating a National League team playing like that.
Well, the one
Happening.
thing that I could say right now that's a good thing right now, like it sucks right now that we are a game behind on the Astros. Like they had the lead on us, but at least we know we're still 10 games ahead in our division. Okay, and on top of that, we know at least the way our record is, and if we keep it going on the way it's supposed to go, at least we're not going to have to worry about the first round. We're going to get a bye on the first round. So at least there's some sort of upside that maybe that little bit of a break that we got, if things keep on not getting the way they need to get, and like we get to October and it's October time, we know at least they might have at least a little bit of buffer to get their minds straight and hopefully get that October air into their nose and everything like that and start playing October baseball.
Well, what I meant by first round, I meant the division series, not the wild card round. But yeah, man. I mean, I hate to put it in these terms, but I feel like I'm watching the 2011 Red Sox collapse.
Why put that in the air?
This is. I'm not, man. I'm just saying this is what it's starting to feel like. Either way, you guys are gonna say I'm being negative and everything else, so it really doesn't matter what I say. You all are gonna disagree with me anyway. I think the only one that agrees with me half the time is Mark. But
Wow.
this is
That's all I'm saying.
This is the feeling.
I'm never
That's terrible.
This is what it's
ever
done.
again.
Bad month.
I'm sorry for saying it.
I'm
But
never
one
agreeing with
bad
you ever.
month, bad like.
So
And then you got then you got teams like the Orioles getting hot that are, I think, still a half a game out of a wild card slot, but they're surging too.
So we're good. We're great for 3 months. Like the best team in baseball for 3 months.
Mhm.
We're having a really bad month
Mhm.
and some change. It's so easy for us. I wouldn't say easy, but there's gonna come a time where we're gonna get hot for 2 weeks, where we're gonna look unbeatable.
Mhm.
And it's gonna be coming soon at some point in time. Whether it's gonna be timely hitting coming back around, bullpen coming back, and our starting pitcher finding his groove again. It's gonna come. It just hurts right now.
Well,
But when we get-
better find it quick because it's August 11th.
Yeah, we still got like 2 months left to play. So what I'm saying, like, there's still time to go on another hot streak and to really separate ourselves from a team like Houston. Separate, get us like a 15-game lead in the East. We're playing a bunch of East teams coming up. Toronto, Tampa Bay. We got the Red Sox tomorrow. So these upcoming games are going to be really important, not only for the division but just for confidence, because these teams are not pushovers. So now's the time to get hot. Now's the time.
Well, in order to get hot, I mean, we got to get healthy again too. I mean,
Yeah,
Rizzo's back.
Got to come back.
Yeah, Stanton Rizzo got to come back.
What's the deal on?
You want to know what the latest is on
anyway?
Miguel Castro?
No, he's on the 60-day IL, so I mean, he's not coming back till September. Same with Sevy. They're
What's up with Rizzo and Giancarlo's?
well, Giancarlo has tendonitis in his Achilles tendon, and
Yeah, but
Rizzo,
how's he looking on his rehab though? Is he
he's
Middle
doing
of
baseball
August.
activities. Yeah, he's doing baseball activities.
Baseball activities, man.
Hey, man, that works out for my hot take for next week.
Yeah, well, look how long Jacoby Ellsbury was doing baseball activities, and
I don't want to hear that man's name. Get out of
Dude,
here,
Mr.
Negative.
He just put a bad juju in the air, bro.
For
Stop.
real, bro.
Stop. No more.
Next, you're going to talk about Greg Bird over here.
Oh God. Let's talk about all the injured players in Yankees history that we all dislike. Nick Johnson.
Luke Vogt.
Oh, Nick,
Greg Bird.
Oh man. We gotta get healthy, 100%. I think missing Rizzo and Giancarlo. If Aaron Judge wants to hit 65 homers, we need those two in the lineup.
well, I mean, right then and there. I mean, your 3 and 4 hitters out of the lineup. I mean, that there's no real big protection for Judge at this point. I mean, everyone's looking. Okay, we know Judge hitting bombs, so we don't have to give him fastballs anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And the umpires are still calling those crazy strikes on him, which is everything low and away, low and inside, hot. You know what I mean? Like anything around the plate, 2 inches either way, they're still calling those strikes when they legitimately can't be called strikes anymore. And they've been doing this for years. So they have all the metrics that what they're doing wrong, and they still don't fix it.
Yeah, it's crazy.
But I do, but like I said before, man, I think we got a lot of.
And
What were you saying, Dave?
said some of these calls on him, and not just him, but others in general. I mean, there have been some pitches in the opposite batter's box about 5 inches off the plate that they're calling for strike 3.
Oh my God!
I mean, it's not just the Yankees; it's across the league. It's a league-wide thing.
No, you're right. No, you're right about that. I was even watching. What was it? I saw something even like in the Little League World Series, which is going on right now. I think there was a ball in. I think the right-handed batter. There was a ball that was in the left-handed batter's box, and the umpire called a strike, and the kid looked at him and goes, "What are you doing?"
Even
no.
He's like, damn, man. Angel Hernandez made his way all the way down to the Little League World Series.
You want to hear a funny one? I don't know if it was a Little League game or maybe a high school game or whatever, but a guy legitimately, he was in the box. He gets hit on his elbow pad, and he's like, okay, hit by a pitch. I'm going to start walking. And then the umpire's like, strike. I'm like, what? And even the parents, it's parents, so how parents always like. They're like, he hit the bat, and they listen to the ump listen to the parents instead of seeing of his own eyes and seeing it hit an arm guard. Get out of here.
That's pretty terrible.
And then you had the manager of the St. Louis Cardinals the other night completely flipping out on the umpire. It was real on Instagram that I saw today. It's just like.
There's been a lot of that. There's been a lot of that. Even what's his what's his name? Your boy from up there, Dave over in the Rhode Island area. The guy who's the Twins manager.
Oh, Baldelli, Rocco.
Yeah, he was flipping out because of the.
He doesn't snap. He's a pretty calm dude.
Yeah, they called Gary Sanchez for interference, and he snapped on the umpires,
and for good reason.
I mean,
the ball.
It's bad. It's gotten bad. It's getting worse. The umpires is getting worse and worse. I think they realize that a lot of these robo umps are coming in, so they're just like, whatever, man. We're gonna call whatever we want to do.
Like their time is coming up. Like the robots are coming, and like as much as we want to say baseball purists, I'd rather see a robot now than seeing what these umps are doing, because at least Judge's tall green giant self could actually get balls and strikes called the correct way for his height.
Dude, I'm not down with Johnny Five calling balls and strikes behind the plate. I'm sorry.
I
not
understand it. I understand it. You're a purist, but you got to understand what you want. Like 20 years from now, and people are still getting calls bad. Like, I mean, unless you know what you're doing, unless you're in the top 10%, you shouldn't be an umpire. Realistically, I'm sorry. Like, they need to do something in there to make it like you get punished for doing bad calls, but they don't do that.
They do in Korea.
Not here. This ain't Korea. Last time I checked. Like, I don't know what to tell you, brother. It's like they need to do something about these umpires. Like, oh, you call the bad game X amount of times in a row, dropping you back down to the minors. Have fun. Like, so they do something like that. Like,
first it's gonna be the robot umps. Next, we'll be playing with aluminum baseball bats and overhand pitching softballs. So, I mean,
oh my gosh, you take things to a drastic level, dude. It's like all of a sudden the freaking the sky is falling.
2011 Red Sox, Jacoby Ellsbury. Now this
Johnny
softball.
Now
he hates Johnny Five. Like,
good.
That's an awesome movie, man. I love Johnny Five.
So, get it back to the past 30 days and just overall Yankees stuff. The starters haven't been great either, man. 4.5 ERA. Their FIP is a little bit better, 4.09, and their expected FIP is 3.56. But you can only take so much from expected numbers. I like that FIP number is 409. It's really not the greatest, but it's kind of like average. I want to see Montas get into a flow. I want to see Taillon's been pitching better, so that's a real good thing to see. Cole was nails. Cole was absolute nails against Castillo. That was one of the best pitching matchups of the season. Each of them going inning for inning, throwing up zeros, and Cole to redeem himself after the debacle at the stadium. It was a good sight, and I thought the Yankees had a chance to win that game, but they obviously took the base running and threw that out the window. Yankees lost that game. Mariners didn't win it in game 2. So, what else needs to happen for the team? Well, Peraza needs to come up. I think we all agree on that. We don't care what happens with IKF at this point. But did you guys hear Boone's comments about that today? I think he was on the Michael K show and pretty much just said, hey, he's not on the horizon, but he's the next guy up if something happens. So essentially, if there's an injury, then Peraza is going to be the guy to come up in the infield. But other than that, he's not going to be an option.
See, here's my thing. Don't bring him up if he's not going to play. Like if Glaber gets injured, don't bring him up to sit on the bench. That's my whole thing. Like, if there's an injury, bring him up, insert him in the lineup, let him play. And you know what? Put him at shortstop because he knows what he's doing there. Because he's the only place he's really going to play is middle infield. He's been playing. He's gotten some time at second base, and 95% of the other time was at shortstop. So where else is he going to go? They're not going to put him at third base.
So when the roster's expanded in September to 28, is Peraza going to be the guy? Do you think? Like, who else would it be?
I don't know. I don't know what the rule. I forget what the rules are. But I mean, at this point, you could put you could bring up Clark Schmidt and Marinaccio at that point and have bullpen and have pitching relief.
So you can't have more than 14 pitchers or something like that.
Right. That was the rule I was trying to figure out.
14 pitchers and 14 position players. I think it'll balance out.
Right. So
like they did
why not
bring
up a guy like Peraza? Yeah. Why not bring a guy?
Because they're afraid. They're afraid.
Well, but if you bring up
what,
Peraza,
In my
if you bring up
opinion.
Peraza, and if you bring up Peraza, he's gonna sit the bench. Why not have him continue to play in AAA and keep those at bats going, bring that into the off season, and then boom. Like if the Rail Riders are completely out of any playoff contention, which I don't know how they are right now. I have to I have to look all that up.
56 and 50 right now.
Yeah, but don't they do that? They have that. The minor leagues has that weird thing, like the winner of the first half and the winner of the second half.
No, that's only in AA, bro.
AA.
That's only in AA.
Probably AA.
AAA is
I would think
is the whole season.
AAA mirrors a MLB style of postseason play.
Gotcha. So, I still think that Peraza is going to. The reason why you don't bring Peraza up is because he will continue to get at bats, and he'll continue to play, and then he'll still get most of his time at shortstop playing, getting better. And like I've said it before, come the new season, it is a open. There should not be. It's not IKF's job to lose. It's put IKF, Peraza, Volpe, put the three of them out there. Best person gets the job.
Mm-hmm.
That's
see. I disagree with that.
How?
I gotta disagree, man.
Go for it. Let me hear.
I gotta disagree. I don't think you wait for this to happen next year. If you're trying to make a playoff run, you're trying to shore up defense at shortstop. And not only does Peraza provide defense, but he provides offense too. In 84 games and 330 at bats, he's got 15 home runs, 42 RBIs, 28 walks to 84 strikeouts, 26 stolen bases, slashing 255, 323, 439, and 762. You are not getting that out of IKF right now. You're not. You just. I don't think waiting till next year is the answer either. If the kid can play, the kid can play. Let him play. He's 22 years old.
They should have had him play. They should have had him play from beforehand.
Go.
I think you're misunderstanding though. Like, let's be real. Like, Mark has been on been beating the drum, and Danny has been beating the drum for him to be up the whole season. So it's not like their stance has changed about, oh my gosh, to having one of those two up into the big leagues right now. But we're basically a month and a half away for the season to be done. Let's be real. The chances of either one of them coming up is slim to none right now. You need an injury. Realistically, we need some sort of injury for them to come up. Do we all agree right now that he's the guy to come up right now? Yes. I think we are right now, as they're seeing the way the team has been playing. He needs to be up. But I don't think we're going to see that happen unless some sort of fluke accident happens. And maybe you want to call a witch doctor to have that happen for you if you want him to come up, but it's not going to happen.
IKF has had one of the top 5 softest seasons in terms of contact in baseball history. He's up there with Ben Rivera and Juan Pierre in terms of softest contact. So when it comes to slugging percentage and average, so he's hitting 260 something, and his slugging percentage is 315. That's so. It's very frustrating to watch. The ground ball rates, the amount of lack of power is ridiculous. Yeah, he hits ground balls. He gets on base a little bit, but he's not doing enough to be yeah, we got to keep him at shortstop. Not enough for any of us to be hey, you know what? Let's not give Peraza a shot. But obviously, with him being a vet and him winning a Gold Glove in the big leagues, and all that put together, and the chemistry in that room, you want to maintain that. But Peraza's unproven. We don't know what's going to happen with him in the big leagues, right? We know what we're going to get from IKF. The chances of Peraza being better, I would say, are high because he can't be much worse than IKF right now offensively. Peraza's going to provide power, and he's still going to give you good enough defense. Mm-hmm. But I guess the Yankees are valuing the good things that Peraza does, which is hit 260 and hit a bunch of ground balls and hit 6-4 threes. I don't know. It's perplexing.
And shout out to Arby. Shout out to Arby on YouTube for tuning in. What's up, guys? Big fan of the show. You should watch it. listening and all that. He says he totally agrees with what we're saying. Call it Peraza. It's time to let the kid play already. It's a fact.
And Carson needs to be pitching too.
I mean, I agree.
100% about that, Danny.
Sadly, I don't. It's not gonna happen though. That's the thing. That's the sad part about it.
Yeah, you're right. It's not.
It's gonna come into the fact that we're gonna have the off season kick in, and when the off season kicks in, we're all gonna be like, "All right, can't wait to see the shortstop battle that's gonna happen," because that's exactly what we're gonna be seeing coming up.
If they don't trade for God knows what,
right? I was just about to say that.
Here's my thing. Peraza's name was being thrown around a lot in the Castillo deal.
Mm-hmm.
And
that's fine. At least you're getting Luis Castillo out of the deal.
Oh yeah, no, I know, but they pivoted. They said it's going to be Volpe or nothing, and that's when the Yankees balked at that. From a lot of things I was hearing was that the two untouchables the Yankees have are Volpe and J Dom, and then internally I kept hearing these rumors that Peraza was moving off of, it had to be a really good deal to, boom, he's untouchable as well. They have the plan for Peraza, which he will be a shortstop for the near future at bare minimum. I think Volpe is going to be second base, third base, one of those two positions, and not for nothing with Dominguez coming back. Dominguez lost a lot of weight. Lost a lot of that bulk, so his speed came back. He can be center field for a number of years until Brendan Maia signs, and Brendan Maia comes up, and as long as he progresses, he'll be the center fielder of the future. So I mean, there's going to be a lot of log jams coming up in the next couple of years. I mean, we have a lot of money coming off the books. I mean, bullpen pitching after the season a lot of that comes off the books, so you're going to see a lot of moves that made there. Then the following year, it's a lot of position players with Rizzo and IKF, I believe, is out after next year. Josh Donaldson's out after next year. So I mean, there will be money coming off the books, and then there will be positions to be opened up along the way where person can you can take a Peraza next year and plug him in and let him go, and then the following year you can take a Volpe, plug him in, and let him go.
It's actually it's funny actually that you bring that up though. It's like that you bring up Rizzo, because it's like we know what our plan is for the middle infield. What is our plan for first base? Like, let's be real. Because like the minute we lose Rizzo, either because of old age or whatever. Oh my gosh,
he's raking in Double-A.
So Austin Wells' bat has been legit. Austin Wells' bat has been legit from the word go. Love the bat from the word go. That thing is going to play in Yankee Stadium like nothing else. My thing was always, I didn't know
if Rortvet can get it right behind the plate as a catcher, then you can have Trevino and Rortvet, and then move Wells to first base, and then Higgy goes bye.
Well, I mean, you should have went bye right a long time ago. I'm sorry to say it, but like. I'm been known to hate.
But here's the one thing that we're forgetting: a first round draft pick will get a lot of chances to fail before they move him off. So I will say this: I've seen some videos of Wells recently. He's changed his arm slot. He's changed the way he throws. Like his defense is really picked up, especially his receiving skills. I mean, he's got to. I will say 100% when we first started this podcast. I always referred to Austin Wells as our future first baseman. Like he's got a legit shot at staying at catcher now. Like 100% legit shot staying at catcher.
If you look at the position big league wide, there are not many hitting catchers in baseball. There's maybe 3: JC Realmuto, Wilson Contreras, and I'm blanking on the third one right now. So if you got a guy like Wells that's from the left side that's going to hit, probably in the big leagues 260 to 270. And provide 20-25 homers and provide decent defense behind the dish, leave him there. Because you talk about top 5 production from the catcher spot right there.
Yeah. So we go back into my original statement then. What is our future for first base?
Yeah.
Trey Sweeney.
Oh, that's a good call. I like that a lot, actually. Because he's got the body for it. He's athletic. people think that first basemen don't need to be athletic. They're very wrong. It's
He's
very
a
hard to
he's
play
he's
first
a
base.
big, nimble guy at shortstop, and he's in high A ball right now. I mean, he's
Yeah.
another first round pick. I mean, you can still move him to another position. You can move. He's where he's at a spot right now where you can move him off shortstop, move him to first base, and then let him shoot through the system. Because I don't think Anthony Garcia in low A ball is gonna be first baseman.
I mean, he
He
does
is
have the
first
height.
base, but I mean he's 6'7". I mean, but he's still
He's
got a lot of
6'4".
swing.
Sweeney's
got-
6'4".
Sweeney 6'4". Anthony Garcia is 6'7". I mean, but Anthony Garcia's got a lot of holes in that swing.
Yeah.
And he's
I was thinking about him too.
Yeah,
He's
he's
very
like
young.
20, 21 years old or something like that. So,
If
I mean,
that's the case, though, we need to start working on Trey from working shortstop, third baseman stuff to working first now, because like it's not going to help him that he's not working the area.
True, but at the same point, what if Trey Sweeney is going to be used in the offseason for a deal? He brings more value at shortstop than he does at first base. Just like we never, we're sitting here calling for Luis Medina to be moved to the bullpen right away, but he brought more value to getting, Frankie Montas as a starting pitcher.
100%. And you know what? Cash is looking smart with that now. We all said, why are we wasting our time keeping this guy as a starter? And I think we mentioned at some point in time, like, hey, he's going to be trade bait at some point because of that.
Because he was running out of options too. He had to be on the big league squad after this year.
It was either going to be as a bullpen guy. And if he gets to the big leagues, he's going to be a bullpen guy. I don't see him as a starter in the big leagues, unless he keeps doing what he's doing. But that's going to be hard to do. He's got great stuff. I'm kind of pissed though. Like we know that IKF is a stopgap dude, but to see what Peraza's doing, give him the shot, man. Just give him the shot. Like Von Grissom came up and hit a homer. Like, why?
They just have a huge log jam in the minor leagues at shortstop. You got Peraza at AAA, Volpe at AA. High A ball has Sweeney, low A ball has Vargas, and then you have a handful of guys throughout the FCL and DSL. I mean, Roderick Arias had a wrist injury, and he's coming back strong. I mean, last week he had 2 home runs, both opposite field.
Yeah.
And he's hitting 333 but not just the hitting part's great, but he's walking a lot too. So in a very swing and miss and very swing heavy league of the DSL, he's not just swinging out of his shoes. He's taking pitches, recognizing pitches like that. Like that's something that to move up to the FC to the complex league, he could do that. Soon. I mean, I don't think it's going to happen now, but especially that injury kind of set him backwards. But next year I could see him starting in the complex league, maybe even moving up to low A ball next year, kind of pushing him along. Like just make those.
Go ahead, Mark. My bad.
Oh no, I was just gonna say make those steps. I mean, I think as much as we're talking about Peraza as the shortstop, I think further down the line, if everything clicks for Roderick Arias, I think Arias is our shortstop of the future. That down the line, and he's gonna have power both sides of the plate. Runs what a 6.4. I think it was a 6.4 60-yard dash. I mean, he's got soft hand. He's got soft hands. Defense is out of control. So I mean, why not? I mean, if he's gonna have more pop than Peraza at shortstop, bring him up. Let him fly through the system.
I hope you are right, because I don't know the way this season went, at least, or has gone. I don't feel like they really promoted anyone at all from the minors. Like they didn't do any real movement, in my opinion. Like I might be wrong, but it might have been
It was a one level up. It wasn't like last year when Peraza and Cabrera both started out in high A ball and ended in AAA.
Mm-hmm. They moved up a few guys recently. They moved up Eric Wagam, who's one of the first. They moved him up from high A to AA. They moved Chad Bell and Will Warren from AA to AAA.
But I mean, I'm just saying, compared to last season, and like that's and Mark got that point correctly. He's like, he understood what I was trying to say. So.
But and Danny was saying before about J-Dom. I mean, he's looking good in high A ball too. He's not. He's
just straight killing it.
Hey,
100%. Like
same
he
last name,
clicked in.
same last name. That's my cousin. That's my cousin.
He's looking
Whatever
real good.
he is, it finally clicked into him, especially after a slow start in low A ball that he was swinging for. Low A ball, he had a lot of hard contact for outs, and if he could when he started elevating that ball a little bit, it was the slugging percentage went, but he was still had a lot of swing and miss. When he stopped swinging at everything, especially trying to press everything to impress everybody, and started taking the walks, then it all clicked in for me. Like he could sit back and be patient and still do damage, and the stolen bases now are coming across. Now he's really looking like the 5-tool athlete that we saw. That was worth $5.1 million in 2019.
And playing the NFSL sucks. Like, it's terrible. Like, playing in Florida during the middle of the summer, absolutely miserable. Nobody wants to do that. So I think just getting him out of there and into a place like Hudson Valley where he can actually breathe a little bit during the summer, it's good for him. And in terms of first base in the future too, we just drafted Spencer Jones, and he could play first. He could play the outfield. So power hitting guy. I would love to see him in the big leagues playing first.
Yeah, he moved. Yeah, Spencer. Well, Spencer Jones is a crazy athlete as well. Like he can turn, like him playing in the outfield, taking control of center field long term that's a possibility. Or being a left fielder. I mean,
guys, listen. I think we've officially made it on the internet. Someone is spamming the living daylights out of the comment section on YouTube right now.
Yeah, I saw.
I'm not going to repeat what it says on there, but I think we've officially made it on the internet when we start getting spammed.
Yay. Next week, I'll give you guys my cash app. You can give me some money for real then.
Our friends over at Bronx Baseball and Beer, if you guys are watching this, man, we joined the club of making it on the internet and getting spammed.
Nah, man. Dave, next week we give them all our cash apps so that way they can start sending us some real money.
Yeah. I'm not too sure that's how it works, bro.
Oh man, it works like that. It works like that. All the kids want to give away money now.
No, so on on B3, they were doing one of their live bars one night, and some German guy wanted to come on air and shave his head while they were on the air or whatever. And Chris was like, "Yeah, no, you made it on the internet when you start getting spammed by people in Europe wanting to do some crazy stuff." So, anyway, that was funny. Hey, at least it lightened the mood.
Oh no, you're right. It did. I saw that. I started laughing. There's no way we're going to talk about that.
Well, you can just not directly. You can be a little covert about it.
No, you're right. No, you're 100% right about that. But yeah, what we were just talking about, a lot of the guys that in the lower levels of stockpile. I mean, we've talked. I've said it before. We've all talked about it. Brian Cashman learned from Gene Michael. You build your system through the spine. So I mean, that's why we have a lot of middle infielders, especially on shortstops, because shortstop you can then branch them out to everywhere else. A lot of center fielders and a lot of them we've moved them as well. Last year we were moving a bunch of them, and we're still getting more. Reported that come January 15th, 2023, we're going to get Brandon Maia, top international prospect, coming forward. Probably around $5 million from everything I've been hearing. Righty from Cuba. So, and he's got a legit shot at staying at center field. So, like I said, there's going to be log jams throughout the system, and the best one we just got to pick the best ones to stay. Send the rest of them out the door for trade bait and for trades, and get new players in, get what we need at the time.
And look what Cashman did this deadline. We traded away 8 of our top 30 pitchers, and we
prospects
got better.
Yeah.
So in general, right? So
and we didn't give up any of the top 4.
Yeah, that's such a win. It's such a win.
I mean, I'll say this. I think there's a chance. There's still an outside chance that Dominguez can make it to the big leagues by the age of 21.
Oh man, I mean, he's there at 19, and he's doing well in high A.
he can move up real fast to Double A next year. I think if they really want to, they could try to probably push him to Double A at the beginning of the year next year.
Yeah.
I mean, that happens and he produces, boom. I mean, it's a surefire thing.
Or do what they did with Volpe this year and just start him at Double A and just leave him there for the whole season.
Yeah, but where was Volpe? Volpe had no other place to go as well.
Yeah.
He wasn't going to overtake Peraza because Peraza's defense was good, and both he and Peraza start off the season badly. Peraza's actually having a look.
No, what I'm saying is that Volpe was at high A at the end of last year, and they started him and left him in Double A to see what he could do.
Okay, gotcha. Well,
Volpe.
Oh yeah, well Volpe moved up to high A ball in what May of last year, I think. So he had a good amount of time in.
It was like half and half the season in low A, the other half in high A.
He had nothing to prove at that level.
Yeah.
No, and that's what I'm saying. Like if Dominguez does good this last half of the season at high A, you might as well just push him to Double A for the whole season next year and just leave him there. And if he does well, then you can play it the other half of the season, and then in 2024 you reevaluate and see where he's at.
The only reason why I would think they leave him at high A or start him at high A next year is because of his age. But I would like to see him in Double A next year. I would love to see him in Double A next year.
Oh, I think J-Dom 100% is going to be Double A. I mean, the way that they've been moving J-Dom was that every All-Star break and every futures game is that okay. This is the good time. This is when this is your promotion time. Mm-hmm. So,
since we keep talking about the future, when the off season comes around, do we go after Joe Musgrove? Do we go?
He just signed a 5-year, $100 million.
When did that happen?
A couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, last week.
2 days ago. Well, the trade deadline day he signed it.
Exactly. Yeah, he wanted to stay. He's a San Diego boy. He's like, this is where I want to stay. This is where my family wants to be. I'm not leaving here.
He's the only one to throw a perfect no hitter in that team's history.
That's actually hard. The funniest part is. No. Actually, I'm going to show you something. I'll show it to you guys right now. This is ridiculous then, because this is something that came out 2 days ago, and I was reading it. That's why.
All right, excuses. Here they come.
Man,
Bleacher Report. Come on, man.
I love Bleacher Report as well, but
yeah, they messed up then.
If you read it, the article was from April 29th.
Yeah, and the funny part is when I did the search on it, it was from 2 days ago. Oh well, whatever. Yeah. I guess that went out the window. I was gonna start going through there for names. Oh well. F that.
It's okay.
Yep. I'll take the L.
It's all good. You can't always win them all.
But I will prove it to you guys by showing you the picture that my computer says 2 days ago.
with the anime chick girl on the phone.
Hey man, don't be messing with my Nami. Okay?
Who do the Yankees have after the Red Sox? Toronto?
After the Red Sox, I got it up right here actually. It's the Rays, then Toronto, and then the Mets. And then we go West Coast. So yeah, we should be able to
go back out to the West
Angels.
Yes, we got athletics. We still have athletics.
Oakland.
Athletics first, then Angels.
Oh, maybe we'll see good old friend JP Sears.
And then we come back to the East Coast again.
JP Sears is not going to throw 10 shutout against us. It's okay.
Well, dude, he just might.
We'll get going.
Hey, Dave, don't worry.
Don't say never.
Dave, we'll get if Waldichuk pitches, we'll get you a Build-A-Bear. we'll get you a stress ball or something like that.
Just stop.
We'll get you the plane ticket to Oakland. How about that?
Just stop.
You got the game.
Wrong.
Plane ticket.
You guys are so wrong for that. Stop. But don't worry if he does. If he does,
this weekend's gonna be fun though.
No, Dave, it's close enough to my birthday that I could go to Build-A-Bear and I could get it for the price for a nice good low price then.
Whatever.
And I'll even I'll even be able to like find a way of like embroidering in the back of it, Waldo in the back of it for you.
Red Sox, Rays, Toronto, Mets. Well,
Yeah.
we can't go 1-5 against these guys. That's for sure.
No.
We got to
we'll be at
dominate the
home,
Mets.
too.
We need to dominate the Mets as well.
I saw
Because-
something that DeGrom and Scherzer are going to be lined up for those two
Son
games.
of a gun.
So
Well, listen-
that'll be
well,
a
listen,
great
if-
barometer.
Yeah, well, if
Great.
that's one, but it's one thing if
Fantastic.
we're playing if they're going to go against like Tyone and Herman, it doesn't matter.
Oh,
It doesn't.
Yeah.
At this point, does it really matter who we throw out there?
I want for that
I would-
series.
I
I want Cole. I want
Cole
to see
Montas.
Cole. You want
I
Cole
want Cole-
Montas? I wouldn't mind Cole and Nasty
Nestor?
Exactly.
Hey, despite that 5 or 6 game start stretch where he had like a 5.60 ERA,
Mhm.
over his last 6 or 7, it's back down to 1.9.
I
So
mean,
Nestor's been dealing.
I want to see the Mets lineup go against Nestor and Nestor dominate against that lineup. I want that to happen, but with my chances, it's not going to happen because the Yankees don't want me to be happy.
No, I want Cole and DeGrom going to get against each other. Then I want Montas and I want Montas and I want Scherzer going against each other.
Yeah.
That's what I want to see.
I would love that.
Because
I
don't think so, but it's gonna be that's box office right there. You want box
It would
office?
be.
That's box office. That's box office.
And the great thing is, it's a Monday night and a Tuesday night. They could put the Tuesday one on TBS or TNT, whatever it is that they're trying to do on Turner right now, and they could bring out a Monday night baseball game, and ESPN will be happy. They'll be making money off of those games.
Let's go Yanks. Let's just get hot. It starts at Fenway.
I thought you were going to say something else.
Like,
I'm ready.
Let's
Oh God.
let's show the Red Sox who's daddy. All right, and carry on. It starts there. I mean, we said this last week, but I'm gonna keep saying it until we get hot. Honestly, we got to stay positive as best as we can, but I think it's kind of making it hard. If we lose 2 out of 3 to Boston, sheesh.
We
I don't know
lose
what
2
I
out
would
of
do.
3 from Boston. I'm gonna mute our group chat because I don't want to hear Dave.
Man, that'll be so bad.
Dave might just
Yeah,
jump
because
off
I'm the only one that gets mad about stuff, right? I'm the only one that gets upset when they lose games in that group chat. Yeah, sure. Okay.
No, you're not the only one, but you're the only one
Uh-huh.
who could. At least out of me, I can't drink, and I know you could. So I'm like, I mean, like, I know you're gonna be going to a drunk stupor on the chat. I'm gonna be like, I don't want to see this. I
Alex
can't
is just
fight.
sad, Dave.
I can't fight with you as much as I want because I can't be at the same level as you. So I'm just mad I can't be there with you. That's all. Get it, understanding.
Whatever. Well, I think that about does it for us this week. Thank you for everybody for following along live on YouTube tonight, and everyone starting
Especially all the
this weekend
trolls. Yay.
can get it on Apple, Spotify, Google, Castbox, Podcast Addict, Podcast Republic. Be sure to check out our sponsors on our link tree. Got some good stuff going on there. Everybody enjoy the Red Sox this weekend. I'm in Iowa on training work, so I will be partaking in the Royals and Dodgers game on Saturday, and then Sunday hitting the Negro League Museum in Kansas City. So that's going to be awesome to see. Can't wait.
That's cool.
And yeah, so thanks for everybody for your support on Twitter. Everybody listening internationally. Hey, Mark and Alex. This is David, Bronx Muchachos, signing off.
Bring up Peraza, Schmidt, and Marinaccio.
Do it tomorrow.
Should have done it last night.